I have never been so excited to watch a fucking Pixar movie in fucking forever. The last time I was this excited was for Inside Out and for fucking WALL-E.
That's a long time ago.
Oh my gosh.
That was almost 20 years ago, right?
Well, they're two
in your time.
Two of my favorite movies.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, guys, welcome back to the Charming Analysis podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about the movie that just came out on Disney Plus, Turning Red. Okay, first off, I am so happy that I finally get to see this movie. I have not been so excited for a fucking Pixar movie since Inside Out and WALL-E. Those two are like some of my favorite Disney movies, but in my opinion...
Because you're a weird anime person. Is that why?
I like all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's because of anime, right?
Whatever.
Anyway. It's anime. I get it.
Alright, so... let's talk about it. Basically for me, ever since I saw this trailer last year for this movie, I have been wanting to see this movie. I have been so excited to see it, and it was fucking worth the hype, in my opinion. Like, oh my gosh.
Was it for you?
For me, it was. But let's talk about the synopsis first. So why don't you tell them what the synopsis is, honey?
So it's about Mei Mei. That's her name.
Maylin Lee.
Maylin Lee. I don't know.
Yeah, that's her name.
They call her Mei Mei, so I'm just...
Maylin Lee / Mei Mei.
Mei Mei.
We'll call her Mei Mei for this.
I'm just going to call her Mei Mei. So, right. It's about a girl named Mei Mei who is your average
13-year-old.
13-year-old. Living in Toronto, and she, is going through some changes that decide to take a more traditional, I would say, Asian twist on, an old notion of turning 13 by changing into a red panda.
Yeah.
That's the best I could probably say, about the plot.
But that's basically the gist of it.
It's just a little slice of life story. It's something that Pixar has been doing for the last couple of years.
Okay, well, I'm going to point some stuff out first before, we get into, what we like about it. First thing I'm going to point out. Mm-hmm. This takes place in, 2002. And, I can see all the references in it. And it made me so fucking happy because I haven't seen a movie in that kind of generational era in so long. My goodness.
Why don't you just look at any 2000s movie?
But this gives me that nostalgic feel to it, which I think is awesome. Mm-hmm. Especially with I like the idea of her turning into a red panda and stuff like that. But here's another thing I like about this movie that I want to point out. And I was actually talking to my friend about this, earlier. Pixar has really evolved into, an adolescent in a sense. When they first came out with movies for Pixar, they were all about, toys, monsters, stuff little kids liked. Now they're finally starting to tell a little bit more refined stories with, a fantasy element to it. Examples, Luca, Soul, and now this, Turning Red.
It's because Disney bought them, and they always have to do some magical shit.
But to me,
beforehand, you could see where that riff's kind of slided a little bit. Started, I think, with what would be the first after Toy Story 3. It kind of started to become more. I don't know. It's one thing. I think Pixar, because they were bought by Disney, they're going for the fantasy element, and they're going for a more adolescent element,
which I think is
to their
great.
Stories, which is good and bad. Let's be completely honest, because they used to be one of this had feelings. What if stuff, inanimate objects had feelings, and what stories can we tell through that? Now it's like more human stories.
Yeah, but here's another thing I do want to point out.
I mean, I can go into it. I don't know if I think it's more memorable than, like, you know, the peak Pixar movies. Because I will still say that it probably has more imagination put into those peak Pixar movies than this one does. But okay, you can geek out more about that. But I'm gonna lay an argument down real quick so that you can continue your.
But I want to point
geeking.
one more thing out before you do that.
Okay.
Another thing that I'm actually happy that Pixar decided to do with this movie, and I feel like this doesn't get talked about enough, and I'm happy that they actually talked about it. They actually talked about girls becoming women. And I feel like they don't talk about, like, you know, how girls go through, like, their periods and they go through changes and stuff like that. They always, like, imply it. But this is, like, the first Pixar movie I've seen where they actually, like, you know, explain it a bit. Like, they explain it in a way that I feel like people can understand it while they're not, like, dumbing it down. And I like that. I mean,
that was nice.
Like, I've never seen a Pixar movie do that, and I'm happy that they actually got to talk about, like...
I mean, that was nice, but, like, they kind of dropped it once it got introduced. They kind of just dropped it a little bit. But that kind of little bit of edge that it had in, like, the first 20 minutes kind of dropped after that.
I know, but, like, I'm happy that they actually talk about it, which I think is great, because something that I've noticed in, like, society, at least from people I've talked to about this, at least from people I've talked to, a lot of young girls are starting their periods, their first periods when they're, like, 9 or 10 years old.
Okay.
Like, between 9 to, like, 13 is when most of the girls that at least I knew of growing up started their period. So I feel like this is good for kids that are figuring out for the first time that that's how they become women and stuff. And I like that they actually talk about that, because I don't feel like a lot of people talk about it like the way they did in this movie, which I'm happy that they did. And that's something I'm happy that they actually pointed out. Like, it's very brief, but I like that they talk about it, though, because we don't get to hear that much, and I thought that was nice. Like, she was talking about, like, you know, if you're going through changes, like, you know, you can have, like, you know, Tylenol and stuff like... No, well, not, like, Tylenol, but, like, meds and stuff to help make it feel better. Like, having, like, herbal tea and, like, plenty of, like, pads and stuff. I thought that was nice. I thought that was a nice touch.
That was, like, 5 minutes.
I don't care.
Like, 5 minutes of the
I
movie.
don't care if it was 5 minutes. I like that they actually included something like that in this.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like they don't talk about that shit enough, and I'm happy that they did.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my whole shill about it.
Okay.
Like, at least those points before we talk about what we like about this movie. So, do you want to go first, since I feel like you have less to talk about? I feel like you should go first. Go for it.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
But not as much as me.
All right. It's all right. It's good. I would give it, like, I don't give it a soda.
Don't give the rating yet.
I will, because, like, I'm gonna
talk about why.
I'm gonna talk about why. Rating, I'm gonna give it. It's a 6 out of 10.
Really?
It's a good little movie.
Okay, well, I guess explain why, because I'm giving mine at the end.
It's a good little movie. Like, you know, I think that, like, you know, characters are fine. The animation is fine. Like, everything else is, like, you know, cool. It's good. It's made for tween girls. That's great. And I can, like, it's not like because I'm not that. I can't see the value in some movie like this. Yes, it's valuable for its audience, and I recognize that. And I think it's like having another one of these movies from Pixar is ultimately great in the end. In terms of an actual product that I enjoyed, I have to say that I've seen this type of story, like generational trauma story, done a whole lot more
effectively.
Yeah, more effectively. That's the word I'm looking for. So it's been done a lot more effectively, and just I just like those. I like those better. I like if I could compare this to something, I would say I like this. I like the. I guess in term, this movie's trying to cover generational trauma. You can say, in a way.
Yeah.
And over the reliance on like the kids from the adults. I will say, comparing it to a movie, Encanto did it better.
And that I can agree on as well.
Like, you know, in terms of like parental, like, you know, like trying to please a parent and everything like that. I will say, Mitchells and Machines did it a little bit better as well. I'll say, like, you know, like, I've seen this story because it's one of the most popular stories that animation has told, like, between, like, not just, like, it mostly done with, like, father-daughter type relationships, but also, like, you know, animation's also, I guess, mothers and daughters as well, and they, like, push the narrative like that a little bit more, in the recent years, but I don't know. It's one of the most. It's like one of the most told stories in animation, and I feel like I've just seen it done a lot more effectively in its themes. I've seen it a lot more done effectively, and it didn't hit me like as hard. I was waiting for it to like, I guess, like hit me. Like, you know, have like an emotional connection to it. I just really didn't. And like nothing really, like, you know, was trying to like, nothing else. I wouldn't be so harsh on it if like, I guess like if nothing really was trying else to pull me in. I wasn't really like, you know, I don't know. It just, when I was watching, I was like, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's this adorable. But nothing was like really grabbing me saying, oh my god, this is great, or oh my god, I would probably, like, you know, I would watch this scene over and over again, or I watch this scene over and over again, or like, you know, just on a relative viewing or rewatchability. I probably will just like, you know, say it's a good movie, and I'm happy. I'm happy more of these stories are coming out from other cultural perspectives. I'm happy about that.
Exactly,
because like, let's just say right now that every single culture has a generational problem that you could nitpick through everything, and everybody's trying to tell their side of the story, and it's like, that's cool. I feel like we're trying to get that way, but I don't know. It's been told better, and I want to see something else. I probably like Luca. Was that the last one? No, it was Soul.
Soul I think came first, and then Luca.
Soul came first and then Luca? Okay,
Yeah, Soul came first.
I like Luca more than this because it was just like two kids having fun in Italy, and like, you know, I felt more of an attachment to that movie than to this one. But I rather go back to like the old Pixar movies, like, you know, pre-Up, like all of those other ones that, like, I guess relied more on characters than like tropes. I guess if you can make tropes and characters work, that's fucking fantastic. They turn into some of my favorite movies. But if I don't know. Some movies don't really do that for me, and I have nothing else to really grasp onto that other, like, I don't have anything really to grasp onto that, even if that wasn't really a problem for me. So, yeah, I think I've been talking a lot.
Okay, so my turn.
Well, so I don't know. What can you decipher from that, and what can you do to tell me that I'm wrong? How about that?
Okay, so to me, I like this movie for a couple different reasons. One is because, like, the way that they decide to treat the relationship between the mom and the daughter, I feel like Mei is not like the normal troublemaker like her mom thinks she is. Like here's the thing, like, most of the time when you think troublemaker, you think the kid's doing drugs, you think the kid's like trying to like do like, you know, have alcohol and stuff like that. But she's 13, so like she's not gonna do stuff like that. All that she's really done to like be quote unquote troublemaker is just have thoughts about boys and like, you know, like people that she has crushes on and stuff like that, and just like going to parties and just having fun. And
yeah,
like,
I guess I like these stories more when they're like brought towards a not like a teenager, like 15, 16, 17. I don't get the whole like when you're a preteen, all this shit like is pressuring on you. I would get if it was like something like, I would get it if it was like more focused on schooling, or like something that's like going to like, well, you got to do this in order to prepare more for your future and stuff like that, like expectations of those. I don't know, it's just the whole like idea of crushing on somebody is like, that
like,
was just such a minute little thing to focus on that it just kind of like, maybe some people have it. I don't see that as a reason to focus a whole fucking movie on that. Like, I know. There's so many other more interesting things that you could have focused on, and you have to focus on, like, that, which didn't really make much sense, I guess. It would have made more sense if it was, like, something like, I don't know, not school, because that's probably been overplayed too, but something else, something a little bit more... I wish, you know what I wish for? I wish that this probably would have taken place when she was a teenager. It probably would have made a lot more sense. Because then you could have a little bit more of an independence. When you're like 13, you can't really like, you know, you have a little bit of freedom, but you don't have as much freedom as you were someone who was like, who's 16 so and can actually go out and like, you know, actually experience stuff.
So basically... you wish she was just a little bit older.
Yeah, that would have been a lot more better.
I feel like that's the issue.
That probably would have been a lot more better, because it seems like it seems like an overreaction and not enough reaction at the same time.
Yeah. But, like, I do agree with you. Like, it could have been done a little bit better, but
you love it.
But I still like it regardless. I like that it brings the nostalgia of, like, stuff that I remember when I was a kid. But I also like the fact that they're using, like, the red panda as, like, a way, like, as a symbolism for, like, you know, the girl's growing up, and, like, she's going from, like, a young girl to, like a blossoming young woman kind of thing. And I like that kind of symbolism right there. And I also like the fact that, like, that no matter, like, how everyone else around her acts about this red panda, she still wants to keep it as part of her, because it's technically part of her.
Yeah.
And I feel like all the other people, like all the other relatives, just sealed it away, minus when they like threw it on the ground while they were trying to save the mom at like the end. Yes, there's spoilers in this. But okay. I also do like,
I mean, the boy bands, I could see a story like this working. It just, for some reason, just like, was like, I couldn't really, like, you know,
you couldn't see it.
I couldn't really, like, you know, see it. And I was trying to so hard.
It's okay.
I was so trying. I was like, I see some aspects of it. I can see you. I just can't, I can't touch you. I can't, like, connect. I can't do anything.
It's okay. But, like, another thing I do like about it is that, like, I also like how her and her friends interact with each other. I also enjoyed that as well, because all of them had something unique about them that made them differ from each other. And I like how she's trying to, like, connect with her friends and stuff like that. Like, but she also wants to seek her mom's approval.
I mean,
I feel like it's, like, the best of both worlds, but at the same time, you know, she just shouldn't have had to, like, do that. But anyway, a lot of the stuff, like, I've kind of already geeked about with it.
Yeah.
Like, at the beginning. But personally, I think it's a really good movie. I'm happy that this movie came out the way it did. I like how they did everything in the movie. Mm-hmm. The only issue I really had with this movie, personally, was, like, I feel like the mom overreacted a bit too much when it came to, like, you know, her being with, like, her friends and, like, the boy bands. But, and this is the thing I also noticed. I don't think she hates the other two girls, like the purple girl and the yellow girl. I forgot their names, besides Abby and forgot her other name. But I feel like she mostly hated the green girl for some reason, and I don't know why. Like, I feel like most of the hatred toward her friends was to the one person, not
gotta,
everybody.
Do that in, like, I guess, storytelling. It's like some people, some secondary characters are gonna be more in the third degree than the second degree, you know?
Yeah.
Some, like, even in a friend group, some people are gonna be a little bit more out there. Like, some people are more focused on than others. Even if it's, like, part of your main cast, you're still gonna have that. I understand that, because it's just how some people tells, like, you know, those stories. It's like, okay, we'll focus on this one, and then we'll focus on that one. Yeah.
But that's one of the things I did notice about this movie. And, like, I felt kind of bad that the one girl kept getting, like, the criticisms and stuff. But I do feel like it built the story up. And I'm happy with what they did with it, personally. I liked it. And I personally hope they do more movies, like, similar to this. Like, not the same way. They will,
because it's going to be fucking popular. It's already popular on TikTok because it speaks to... What generation are we in now?
Gen Z.
Gen Z. It speaks to that.
But I like it, though. It
speaks to it because people are dealing with familial trauma and rather have escapism through movies than actually deal with it. I understand. But as somebody who's already, like, experienced most of it, except for the resolution, which is still yet to become... As someone who's experienced the majority of it, I'm just kind of like, yeah, but I've seen this done better and probably a little bit more effective, and therefore I would rather revisit those stories than this one.
Which I can understand.
I'm not saying that this is bad because of it. It will speak to somebody, doesn't speak to me.
Which is fine. I personally like it a lot, and you don't have to like it as much as I do.
I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think.
Everyone's allowed to have their own opinion.
I know people are like, well, everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. I'm like, I did not ask.
Still. I
don't care.
Still.
I know still, but, like, I'm sorry to be mean, but, like, sometimes I'm just like, no, I just don't care. I don't want to get in that argument today.
Okay, so I think I've geeked out long enough, but...
Have you? Yeah, I feel like you haven't geeked out enough. You were geeking out a lot through that movie.
Yeah, I just liked a lot of the cute scenes that they did, and just her fucking red panda form is just so cute. Like, that's one of the things that drew me to this movie, is the fact that her design for the red panda and just her design in general, I could fucking relate to her on, like, so many levels. Not, like, completely, but I could relate to her on, like, a lot of different things, which I am happy about, and stuff. But anyway, most of my geeking out at this point, I think, is probably going to be toward drawing and stuff. So.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna... Oh, Mari, you're definitely going to make some edits or, like, draw pad art. I feel like that's going to happen, and it's, like, going to be... Oh, my goodness.
You're going to be so tired of it, but I don't care.
I am. But
I
you
love
know
it.
what? I don't care because it's a cute fucking panda, and like I don't care. I like cute things too. I like cute things.
I could see you making edits for this.
I like cute things. I guess. I'll try to think of something, but like, I don't know. I it's just a meh. It's a meh experience. Even looking at it, maybe because we were watching it in like shit quality. Maybe
Well, it's the best we could do.
It's the best one we could find. We didn't watch this on Disney Plus, by the way. So
Yeah.
but maybe it's because of the quality. I don't know, but some like the animation, like there was like frame shots that were nice. I like the expressions. I like all that. They're getting more better at that. Like they're getting
definitely.
more better at like I guess expressing and trying to stay away from realistic 3D animation as possible. But we're going back to it with Lightyear, so
yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Lightyear. I don't like. I who's fucking excited for Lightyear?
I don't know.
I don't give a fuck.
I think a lot of the people like. I'll mention this.
Fuck.
We'll mention this briefly.
My God.
Jay, we'll mention this briefly, and then I'll give my ratings.
Are you gonna watch Lightyear? No, I'm not.
Personally, I feel like the people that are gonna be into Lightyear are all the people that were into like the Buzz Lightyear cartoon. I feel like that's.
Were you interested in the Buzz Lightyear?
Not really.
Not really.
I've seen it,
space.
But not my thing.
I'm not really interested in space or anything like that. So,
but we'll see. Maybe it'll be better, but I don't know if I'm gonna watch Lightyear.
I'm not gonna watch Lightyear.
Definitely,
I look so.
But
boring.
I will give my. But I'll give my ring. You already gave it a 6 out of 10. I wish you could have given it a little higher, but that's just personally.
I'm sorry,
but it's fine. Do you boo? Anyway,
I do me boo.
To me, I fucking love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
This has to be my favorite Pixar movie at this point. I like this movie.
I can't.
And Inside Out and WALL-E are both second now for me.
I can't do it.
And that's normally hard for me to pick because I have like a lot of favorites.
Mari, in terms of like even the what was I saying? Yeah, even the animation wasn't really like besides those things, which like is getting more better in stylistic choicing to Pixar. I think that's because they're just hiring like just people who want to make those expressive movies more. I don't know. It's all because of Sony. Sony did it all.
I get it.
But no, it's I don't know. The animation wasn't really, I guess, like awe-inspiring or spectacular like I normally expected from them. Like even like something like Inside Out has like, really nice scenery.
Yeah.
Like Soul does it as well.
Same with like WALL-E.
WALL-E, like in terms of animation, like like I guess the shots and stuff like that. It wasn't so much grabbing me. I like
what?
It wasn't really grabbing me. I guess the animation,
fine.
like normally like Pixar is like really good at that, and it's like,
maybe they just wanted to do something a little bit more simple, just to like kind of
did it with
try
Luca.
something
It was like it was still pretty. So I don't know what was going on here.
It's fine. But anyway, I personally would watch this. But personally, I would watch this movie again, and this has got to be my favorite Pixar movie. Personally,
I can't do that.
But that's me.
I can't do that, Mari. Yeah, your favorite Pixar movie, the best Pixar movie? No.
Well, that's personally my favorite. Anyway,
what's the best?
I'm not gonna go into this conversation right now.
Okay.
If you guys want us to do like a best to worst like Pixar list, just let us know because I feel like we should.
I can't put it over The Incredibles.
Okay, I will say this.
I can't put it over Ratatouille.
How about this?
I can't put.
How about
it over
this?
Those.
One of these days, we'll sit down, talk about it, and do a podcast on it because I think that'd be a fun idea to do, like the best to worst Pixar movies. I think that'd be fun for us to like discuss and like make a list out of.
Is Brave the worst Pixar movie?
Yes. We'll figure it
out.
Really? I would want to do that. I think that'd be fun.
I don't know which is the worst. I would put this like in terms of Pixar. I know, like, where would you put it in the ranking? Like Turning Red, where would this fall at?
I'm not talking about that right now.
No. I mean, like, I know. I would put it in like lower mid tier.
But personally, for me, I would put it like mid to high mid tier. But I don't know.
I know this is like in your top 3. Probably.
For me personally, it's in my top 3 for Pixar, but that's me.
I cannot
Anyway.
see that. I cannot.
Jay, we get
what
it.
What kind of world are you living in right now?
Jay, can I please give my rating?
I'm sorry.
I love you, honey, but I want to just give my rating, please. You booty. Look, you have your opinions. I have mine. Whatever. And people are allowed to have their own
I
opinions.
wish I could have liked it more. Okay?
It's okay.
I wish I could.
It's okay. Hugsy. You're fine. Anyway, personally for me, I give this a 9.5. I wish the scenes with her and her mom could have been a little bit more executed. I wish May would have spoken up about some things instead of just not saying anything and just being like hiding like in her shell just to please her mom.
That made sense. That made
It made sense.
That was the one that made sense for her age.
It made sense.
She's 13.
But I wish that she didn't do that.
Yeah, but she's 13. That made sense to me. Everything else was just like, this is overreacting.
Anyway, I give it a 9.5. And I would definitely watch this again.
I
love
this
6,
movie. And people forgot, I guess.
But yeah, that's basically the end of the podcast.
Now we gotta wait till Owl House comes out.
Yeah. So we decided after a lot of thinking.
Owl House, that's
Owl
the one
House,
that does it better.
Yeah. Anyway, we did a lot of thinking about it, and we decided we're just putting out whatever each month. Our goal is to at least do like 1 to 2 videos, depending on circumstances. Knock on wood. But we'll see. I'm not making promises.
Okay.
But I do know the next one we would like to do is for Owl House Season 2. We already saw 2A, which is like the lighter season, and we found out that 2B is coming out soon. So we should be doing that hopefully
The darker season. Whoa.
the darker part of the season. But
Whoa.
we do plan on doing it once it comes out, and we'll finally put our review for season 2.
We'll just show a little bit of blood. That's it.
I don't care. I want to watch it and fucking do a review on it because I want to finally review season 2.
Okay.
It should be out hopefully end of this month, beginning of next month, depending on how many episodes
We're
there
in the
are.
end game, baby. The end game. And after this, no more Owl House.
There's season 3.
Is there?
Yes.
Oh.
There's season 3. It's
I
just not
thought-
that long. It's mostly specials. But still,
yeah,
there
it's
is
gonna be 3 specials. I forgot. I thought the season 2 was because
No.
they were just like canceled. I'm like,
They really just want to like be. I feel like Disney
nobody wants any creativity in the. I'm not even blaming it on the gays. It's just people are just kind of dumb.
Anyway,
And
this is not the time to talk about it. We'll talk about it later.
Lame.
Jake, we will talk about it later.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Be on the lookout for our next content, hopefully coming out by the end of this month, beginning of next month.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, depending on how many episodes and how long it
You're
takes.
doing the thumbnail for this.
I know. I already want to do it, but I'm not doing it tonight. I'm going to do it a different night.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm Mari,
I'm Jay.
and we're out.